Get it. Get it. Get it. Get it. Get it.
Is how do we realize the innovative potential of the Cape technology ecosystem? And you can tweet that to Digital Africa.
The fact is, we have got the entrepreneurs and the talent in the room today, in the city, in the country. We have entrepreneurial spirit by definition as South Africans. What doesn't exist is what fueled Silicon Valley, which was belief and confidence in funding those ideas, however ridiculous, however improbable. Yes, the infrastructure piece is important, and that's happening at the moment. But regulatory adjustments are fundamental to making these entrepreneurs in the room today and in the city successful. So we need regulatory reform for entrepreneurs to be able to get to the next stage. And we need seed capital, angel investment, and structural investment by the city, the local entrepreneurs, and corporate SA. So A-round, seed capital, ecosystem that creates a flywheel for entrepreneurs.
So I think you've also got to park your ego a bit if you want to be part of an ecosystem, because relying on other people is sometimes tough for your ego to do. Not having all the answers and having to go and ask stupid questions of people who are more expert than you in a particular part of an innovation or an entrepreneurial venture requires you to eat a bit of humble pie and swallow your ego. So I think don't be greedy, don't be egotistical, and you won't break the ecosystem.
Following on from my colleagues, it seems like we have to get this ecosystem tended, led, or nurtured. When you undertake to lead a large innovation system like you're trying to do with nurturing this ecosystem, you have to probably focus on at least 4 things. The first thing you need to have is the right perspective. So the whole thing about creating perspective is you create a number of worldviews that tend to congregate and align around the same thing. You know, all the world over is trying to find new ways of governing, and I would tend to think we should do the same. If you look at Lord Heseltine's report in the UK, it's all about how do you take money away from national government and you create capacity in the local government to pursue innovation. So that means doing governance as well as you do innovation. So in fact, you have to have skin in the game to create a more inclusive, better society.
That you've asked us to share is how do we realize the potential of the city of Cape Town's technology ecosystem. The single game changer, if I had to put it in one word, I think is education. I think that for us to unlock or realize this potential, it has to be the cornerstone, the foundation of built into everything that we do.
When I was told about the ecosystem, I was thinking about jazz. We've got all these amazing, if I can classify jazz players, people that are amazing within their respective fields, but somewhere along the line we're just missing the harmony and the rhythm. And I think once we are able to hit the rhythm and the harmony together, that is basically where we'll beginning to see a much better and a nicer tune. But my big concern, of course, in the work that I do is really about where does civil society fit in this? And more so, I would like to see more of these things coming into our townships and into our where a lot of our civil society communities are. So I think those are basically the things that I just want to leave from my side.
The next one is an audience question, and I've got the gentleman right here, Dr. David Hislop, and he's got a question, and we'll see who directed. Maybe Paul, you might answer this one.
Hi, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a software engineer working for Korwe Software. My question relates to next year. There's Cape Town's Design Capital 2014, and my question is going to relate to what are we doing as a software community to be seen at that event. So the question really relates to a horrible vision I have in my mind of people visiting Cape Town next year and leaving South Africa, leaving Cape Town with 3 meter tall giraffes and thinking that constitutes innovation and so forth in South Africa. And really what my feeling is that in South Africa we're building software to enable and build upon diversity. We're building software so that we can operate better as people and less behind machines and so on. So the question I'd like to pose to all the panelists, singly and collectively, is who's got the plan? What are we doing as a software industry to do something so that we as software engineers are able to do and show our interesting stuff so the rest of the world can see and buy the stuff and leave South Africa with the belief that we're not just building pottery and so forth.
Any volunteers for the question to respond? Rick?
Oh, thanks. So, as a true non-exec, I'm gonna direct this to Jenny and to say maybe you guys can help us to talk about that, because I think first of all it's a great question.
No, that's why we've got a Code as our creative initiative. We're going to be doing code poems. We're going to be getting coders to do Arduino. But that's not enough, David. I mean, obviously it does have to be showcased at a high level. And, you know, I think we should be putting it in our business plan to the City of Cape Town. That's probably a good idea. So get some funding used for doing it, to make it very valuable. We are a creative software development industry. It's hard for people to understand what creativity is, but we can show it in tangible ways. And we do have a lot of very innovative products.
I think it goes towards a bigger issue. The one thing I've learned in 7 years living in California is that entrepreneurs actually help entrepreneurs. And we get together and we actually figure things out together, and we don't mind sharing the love. As South Africans, we have this incredible die-hard settler mentality that we will survive on our own and, you know, taboo with everybody else around me. So I think just tying together these things. I mean, we have 20 Stanford students out on Monday, which I'm hosting, to look at startups in South Africa, and those things are not even tied together. So the bottom line is just having a city or city published calendar and finding ways to collaborate and attach to things already happening and leveraging, because all about entrepreneurs and startups are leverage. You don't have the capital to set up these things yourself. So let's start leveraging, let's start holding hands and kind of get that sort of Ubuntu family African pride thing going. And I think that it's going to take initiatives and folks like yourself who say, look, you know, what's up with this? But we are such self-preservation species that somehow, as a Cape Town, maybe we can lead the charge and change that.
Thanks. I actually just want to comment on the previous question about the World Design Capital and what we can do. And I really think we do see the collaboration between IT and design is quite an important thing. That's why we are to move in here and to look at how we can use design as an enabler and how we can use IT as an enabler together.